Now what I'm doing here is producing in stainless steel. This is the downpipe from the radiator on the TR4 with a specific angle on it. Stainless steel is notorious when you try and bend it that it wrinkles and it's very difficult. So what I've done, I've cut a diagonal in a chop saw. You can do it with a hacksaw. Just cut it across at a slight angle, and what you'll find is that by offering these two pieces up and turning them, you'll get, so let's bring that in, you'll get the right angle. These pieces, by adjusting it, you'll actually get the right angle, so you can weld it up and it will be exactly the same. I'll just set it up and I'll just show. There it is, lined up at the right angle. I've put a mark on it there with a pen, so that when I lay it out and start welding it, if I have those together, then I know the angle will be right. I'll show you the weld. Well, you can see that everything lines up. I've got the right angle there. A little bit about the welding. This stainless that I'm using is what's called 18-8, and the thing about 18-8, it's non-magnetic. It's and you have to use the right rod with it. In this case, I'm using a stub 65, which is, I know, it's a rod which will weld this. If you use the wrong rod, in this case, you'll get rust appearing down the edge of the weld. It causes by the carbon leaching out of the weld, and you get a line which can in fact cause the weld to fracture. But I know these of old. I am a professional welder, so I do know about these things, and this is the right rod for this. When I line these up, I'm using a DC welder, which gives better results for welding stainless, and you can control the arc much better. I'll tack this and then show you the next stage. Now, just one thing about the safety on this. You see the slag on the top of that. This is tacked in. That slag is it flicks off. Whatever you do, make sure when you're chipping that you've got eye protection, otherwise you may well get a piece of that in your eye. If it's still hot, as it shrinks, it pings off. Be very careful. There's a piece just popped off. There's this first stage. It's welded, the angle is right, I've offered it up. I've taken off the top of the weld with a grinder, and I'm now going to use one of these flap wheels, which won't give the final polish, but there it is with the flap wheel taken off there. There's a little bit there, that bit of undercut as it's called in the weld, but that it won't leak through that. I'll take a bit more of that off when I polish it up. I'll show you the next stage in a second. There it is as a brushed finish, ideal. Slightly larger diameter, but it makes I've checked the new silicone connections I'm putting on there. They're all fine and they fit nicely. A little bit lazy. These aren't tremendously expensive at all, but I needed it now, and I had the stainless in stock and the rods, so it's easy for me to do, but not quite a DIY job. But there it is, fixed in position, bottom radiator hose, and all fits nicely.